Let's start the session. So we have Harneet with us. She was kind enough uh, to share her insights about testing. So we do get a lot of questions around testing, manual testing, automated testing, what certifications to do, how to get into this market. Is it even possible to start something into testing field? And Hanit has answered a lot of questions, and I'm sure like some of which I know. I saw her doing some. I think she's doing in the background on the Women in IT group. So we thought, why not organize this session and give this knowledge to everyone, because it's something that's really really good for people to know. Testing is a good field. There are lots of opportunities in Australian market today. So yes, so Harneet, let's get started.
Yeah, thank you very much, Isha. Good evening, all. I hope you are all doing very well, and I hope this session will, you will get something from this session. So my name is Harneet Kaur. I'm having 8+ years of experience in IT, majorly in testing. So not taking much time, I'll be covering these 5 things in today's session: significance of software testing, types of testing, tools used, certifications. So
Harneet, I mean, we all know that software testing is software testing. You work on an application, and you open the website, and you of course you look at the requirement and user stories or acceptance criteria or something like that, and then you just test it. But I think the question is like, is it that? Is it just that? What's more to software testing?
No, it's not that. Like if I give on a very high level example, I'm working in a retail sector, and if someone wants to visit my organization website to do a normal shopping, so what things he should be looking at? First, he should be able to see the products. The pricing should be made correct on the website. And if the product is not available, it should not be shown on the website. He should be able to add the product to the cart and do the payment. So one should have a very happy experience on the website, so that it is profitable for the company itself and the company doesn't lose its customer. So basically, software testing is like delivering a quality product to the customer, and behind each and every functionality like login, adding the product to the cart, then payment functionality, it requires a rigorous testing. And each and every organization have a designated testing team, which have checklist maintained for providing quality standards before it reaches to the end customer. So yeah, it's not only just testing, and like we are having, I won't go into technical details, like we are having presentation, application, integration layer. So each data flow should be in sync. If an aware, like for example, in retail sector, if there's a product, it has a pricing of maybe XYZ in warehouse, it should be seen correctly on the front end, that is website.
Yeah.
And if a customer is purchasing that, the pricing should be in sync. So what a tester do is like proper data flow testing, integration layer testing. So it's a type of testing. I won't go into much details now, but like once.
So make sure that if it's coming from the inventory and there's a price list there, so it's in sync. It's not like on one platform it's showing certain discount and on other platform it's not showing that same thing.
Exactly, true.
Okay.
It's on a very high level. But yes, once we cover the session types of testing, we all should be aware of.
Okay, so what are these type of testing, and where does automated testing fit in, like all this?
When covered like automation testing, I should have written automation one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't see this. You already changed the slide. Okay, I'll let you talk.
Oh. Like types of testing. we are having database testing, web-based testing, mobile apps, cybersecurity, API, Salesforce nowadays, and automation is like, it's been into, I think, 2014, 2015. So there are different types of tools required to perform these types of testing. And it's a kind of testing fields. These are not testing techniques, but testing fields. Like if I want to go into a proper, I want to be a like API tester, I want to be a mobile application tester, I can choose these fields depending on my preference, my choice. For like,
I think because these platforms are different, so the testing for each of them, I think it's a different skill, to test a mobile app. And
yes, platform is a correct word. Like for database testing, I should be having a thorough knowledge of SQL. For web-based testing, manual is good, but for automation one, you should have a knowledge of Selenium. For mobile app testing, like we are all having automation tool APM. Cybersecurity, I'm not aware of much tools. I think RNWSP, there are many tools required for cybersecurity testing also. For API testing, you should be having like thorough knowledge of Postman, SOAP, UI. So there are different types of tools used for these particular types of testing. Automation tool, yeah, we are having Selenium, nowadays Tosca. Salesforce testing is now a new in the market. So these are basically, you can choose any of these one if you want, based on your preference.
So basically there are like different types in testing. So these are platform wise. And then earlier you were talking about the type of testing itself, whether you are doing functional testing, you are doing end-to-end
I will
testing,
cover that
right?
later. I will cover that later.
Okay, you will cover that. Okay, but you did talk a bit about that.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about this now. But those are testing techniques. Like many of you all will be wondering. We have come across JD and we saw functional unit and regression testing there. So those are the testing techniques which we use on a daily basis and which are required in each and every type of testing, which I've written here. So that are testing techniques. We can have a separate session for that because I think it will take a lot of time to cover that. Is that fine?
Yes, sure.
So those are just testing techniques which we use on a daily basis. And these are the types of testing based on the platform you're working on. And then tools used. So once you are in, if you want to join the testing field, I've mentioned tools which you should have a basic knowledge of each and every tool here I've written. But I've done the bold of SQL, Jira, TestRail. It's must have. I've written must have along with the tools which you should be knowing, which are must, like SQL. If you are joining a testing field, SQL is must. If you are not aware of SQL, just buy a Udemy course or you can check YouTube links. But yes, you should be having a thorough knowledge in SQL because it's important to clear the interviews. And after clearing interviews, you should be using SQL. You should be having hands-on on SQL.
Because I think that's where the data, you guys like make sure that the data is correct, right?
Yeah, data validation.
Yeah, UI might not be showing all the fields or they might have some business logic behind that. Yes. But you can just directly go there and see what's stored. What I entered is what is getting stored in the
because
backend.
In organization, we are having different systems. So just to validate in each and every system, the data should be same in sync. So you should be having, for that, we use SQL just to check.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think SQL or Oracle, whatever. Like
Oracle, SQL, PL SQL.
Okay.
Yeah, SQL, most of the companies, they use SQL. Yeah. It's a better and simple language.
Okay. So do they need to be expert in SQL? Like, I don't think they need to know joins and a lot of things.
No, they have to be expert.
Okay.
You use joins quite a lot.
Okay.
It's not only select star, etc. You use complex queries also.
That's good. No. I totally respect that. So don't look at me like this.
No. Yeah, as a must have, you should be having very, very thorough knowledge of SQL
Sure.
if you want to join the testing field. So, and later, Jira has got two purposes, like the business, they have all the functionalities, new features written there. So the developer can refer to that, to Jira for acceptance criteria, and tester. And secondly, it is used as a defect tracking tool. So if you found any bug, if you found any issue, you just raise a ticket here in Jira and you can assign to the developer. So Jira basically has two purposes. So you should be knowing Jira very well. And what to write, like if I describe it, what should we having on an issue which we raise, the environment, maybe in production, maybe in UAT or developer region, which region maybe a company companies having different region like USA, AU, Singapore. You should mention those things.
Yes. I think Jira does offer a 7-day trial or something. And if I know it does, because we did try that some time back. And I think if people have experience with any ticketing system, they can at least, go to Jira, try to create a defect. Do you call it defect or ticket?
Defect. If you raise a issue or bug, and
issue or a bug. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So they can try to create that. Just see what are the. I mean, in trial version, just play around. Just have some false bug in your mind, or maybe just doing it on your own while testing.
So you should be having a proper headline, a basic description with screenshots attached, a signer. You should be having a link attached to that defect. So there are many things which you should be writing in that
steps to reproduce.
Steps to reproduce, yes.
Yeah, very important, I think.
Very important.
Yeah.
After that, Confluence is just like a wiki page which every organization uses. So if any new project comes, you document everything there and you can refer the pages from Confluence. So it's kind of wiki.
Yes.
And then the tools where we write test cases. Earlier we used to write test cases in Excel. Nowadays, there are many tools which have come into the market like TestRail, Qtest. So you should be having a basic knowledge of these ones. And you should be knowing what are these tools.
Okay.
And then Splunk. You don't need to be a Splunk engineer, thorough. You should have some basic knowledge of Splunk. Like in my previous and my current project, I've used Splunk thoroughly, extensively, sorry. So it's kind of event monitoring tool, which is like quite useful in testing. Yeah, you should be knowing these tools, which I've mentioned, but yes, SQL, Jira, and TestRail are the must ones. And after that, Git is a code repository on a very high level. If someone doesn't know what is Git, it's that where developer saves his code and the tester takes that code, and on that code changes it. The tester tested the code changes which developer has implemented. So just search what is Git and just type the commands used in the Git. We'll get to know. Postman SOAP UI, it is used here for API. So if you want to go into API testing, nowadays API testing is in very demand. So if you know Postman, it's a quite probability you will get a job. So yes, Postman is a very good tool for API testing. SOAP UI is the older one. Yeah, Postman nowadays it's hot.
So API testing, I think for people who are really new to coding and testing is, I just want to say one thing. API testing is, so APIs are now the modern way of building websites. So it's the same website testing. It's just that instead of testing it as a user, you actually test the individual API, like, like if there's an API which fetches a user profile, so you will not go to the website and log in and check my profile. You will actually call that API, and you will maybe pass on the user ID or something, and then you will see what the data is returned, and that should be the correct one, right, honey?
Yeah, I can give one more example. Like when we are working in a project and developer is coding and the UI is not ready for testing. So what developer will do is he or she will give API to the tester, and we will hit that API and get the response. So it basically saves time for testing, since UI is not ready. Basically, there's a presentation layer and then access layer and then the database layer. So it's not on the presentation layer one, but the middle layer.
Yeah, that's a very valid scenario. Yep. That's good.
Saves time, that's it. So Postman is a very good tool, and if you come across JD, it will be mentioned. API testing using Postman. And it is good to have one cloud knowledge, maybe AWS Azure, because every organization is using one. And so yes, so it's a good to start with the AWS fundamentals or Azure fundamentals and get the basic knowledge of cloud. And yeah, Salesforce is an added bonus, but not that important. Basically, SQL, Jira, TestRail are must. Other tools, you should be having knowledge, not just knowledge. You should be aware of what these tools does. Later.
Sandeep, sorry, just to talk to other people. So some of you have joined late. So what Harneet is covering is about testing, and then once her presentation and when she's finished talking, we will take the Q&A. So if you are finding some of these terms are new for you, or if there are some discussion, just note them down, and we will be talking. We'll try to take in Q&A as many questions.
It's a very small slide, and I just prepared half an hour before this. So I will take QA.
Nice of
I
you,
want this session to be very interactive, so I'll just finish it off quickly, and we can have a questionnaire later on. Make sense?
Yeah,
yes.
Slide is very small, Harneet, but the content inside that is really great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And if you guys have already questions in your mind, do feel free to pop them in the chat. Just to save time. So when she is done, I will start asking her those, or feel free to ask yourselves. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the required certification? Like when, if I'm a newbie to testing, what I will do is, first I will prepare ISTQB exam foundation. I've mentioned this multiple times on FB. With Isha, I think to everyone, Isha is ISTQB. But it's not the only one. Like it's not a guarantee certification. Like if you clear this examination, you will get a testing job. But yes, if you want to, if a newbie to the testing, and it will help you to gain knowledge of what are the testing terminologies, like what is the unit testing, what's the functional, what's the regression one, boundary value analysis. Because in an interview, it's like I had 1 hour session of interview, and the interview just bombarded questions. This. And I was like, whoa. So you should be knowing.
Even though you didn't work on all of them, you should be knowing at least what the interviewer is saying, right?
And if you have cleared the certification, it gives an idea to the interviewer, like you have the basic knowledge of testing, so you will be able to do. If like my developers say like Harneet Rangna regression path, I will say like, what is regression now? You should not be in that condition. So yes, ISTQB you should be clearing.
So, Harneet, later, can you just share the link of the, the correct link of that website,
Sure, no worries. Because ISTQB is worldwide test. It can be given in India, and here it's AN, I don't remember that, ANISTQB, and Indian is ITB, Indian Testing Board. So the boards are different, but the content is almost same. So you can give.
Does it matter where you have done it from? It doesn't, right? At least, I mean, like at the end, you are getting ISTQB certified.
Yes.
Okay.
So start with the foundation one, because you won't be able to give agile one before foundation. So first you have to give foundation exam ISTQB, and later on you can give other certification provided by ISTQB. And then I haven't given TOSCA certification, but I've heard a lot about TOSCA.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go to Selenium, I've heard like TOSCA is the easier one, and that's basically a test automation tool, and they are having different certification like automation specialist 1, 2, 3, test designer. So you can explore that thing. I haven't given, and I really don't have knowledge, but I just mentioned here just so that you can explore that as well.
Okay.
And
makes sense.
Selenium is yes. Selenium is used for web testing, web-based application testing. So I've just mentioned 3 points. If you want to learn Selenium, what things you need? First of all, you should be knowing one programming language, Java, .NET, Python. And later on, after that, like if you want to read file from, if you have test data, that is an Excel or JSON file format or XML1, you have to read data from that file. And you want to integrate your code to Git or Jenkins, you have to generate reports. So then this test unit framework comes into picture. So TestNG is the new one. JUnit most of the company doesn't use. So probably you should be knowing TestNG. And later on, Selenium just used to run your test cases. Selenium as such is not a big tool, but yes, unit test framework does everything for you.
Yeah.
So basically, and if you want to go into mobile application testing, automation testing, it's I think APM tool is used for that. Sorry, I haven't mentioned that. I haven't worked actually on that.
It's what is it? APM.
APM. Let me write. I'll show that. Yeah. Tool.
So, oh, sorry. See how
APM is different thing.
I have no idea about testing
performance
tools and certifications.
Performance monitoring tool, application performance management. I've also used that, but you don't need to worry about that.
Okay, that's great. So let's move to Q&A.
I have, sorry, I'm just.
Yeah.
See. I'm just updating the slide now. So
Yep.
someone, Uma has written ISTQB or TOSCA. Uma, TOSCA is an automation tool. ISTQB is a certification which will help you to know what are the testing techniques, testing terminologies. So we should be having confusion between TOSCA and Selenium. Which tool should you use for automation? But ISTQB is just a certification, a very basic level one, just to, just let you know if what are the testing terminologies you can use. So don't confuse.
Yeah. I think based on discussion what we had last time, even though ISTQB, you suppose say, like you want to start with one certification. So ISTQB, if you don't want to get certificate.
Can someone mute?
Yeah.
There's a lot of disturbance.
I think they muted whoever it was, because I see all the participants on mute now. So I think what we discussed last time, what my understanding is that if okay, I understand that Tosca is an automation tool, and ISTQB is about the basics of testing and what all it encompasses. But it's still good if you want to start with Tosca certification, but it's still good that you start learning ISTQB course or whatever your study material is, so that you know, like even though you have not certified, you still know the course. I think that exams or certifications are okay, they are good to have to improve your resume, but you should have the knowledge.
Yes.
And that's the reason why we should actually go for them. Of course, certification, but then the knowledge should also be there.
Isha, I would like to add one more thing. It's not only like for knowledge purpose, but most of the companies, on if you scroll to the JDs, it is written ISTQB foundation level, desirable or must have.
Okay, so it should be the first one, looks like.
Yeah. So if you have updated your Seek profile, and if any recruiter sees your profile, what he will search is ISTQB first. So it helps you to, so that the recruiter can see you.
Okay. Uma, does it answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions, guys, from Harneet?
Isha, I just wanted to say thank you, Harneet, and it was really informative for a beginner. And once they start Googling and researching these terms, it's going to be really helpful. And thank you so much for taking the initiative and motivating the girls and coming up with all the slide and your time and your effort. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nidhi.
Harneet, I have one more question from you, and it's about, so many people say that they don't want to do development because it's tough.
Oh my God.
And that's why they want to come into testing. So how true is that testing is easier? Like, is it really easier, or what are your views on it?
I've also come across these questions. I think most of the people say like, "Hame development nahi karni, hame coding nahi karni. We don't want to do coding. That easy testing is the easier one." And if they have completed BTech and they don't have IT experience, and if they want to come into the IT field, they say like manual testing is a good one. We can, grab a job there and do testing, but it's really difficult one. First of all, testing nowadays have become very demanding. Each and every company has, although we are doing manual testing also, but each and every company has their own automation framework. So eventually you have to, automate the manual test cases there. So you have to learn one programming language anyhow. And also being a manual tester, also you have to be very, attentive. And you have to think of many scenarios. You have to create a complex test data. You should be having knowledge of SQL, and you should be knowing the processes which organization use. And you should be having a thorough retail, not retail, sorry, I'm working in a retail domain. You should be having thorough domain knowledge, be a banking, insurance, and retail. So you have to think very differently. Yeah, it's a very demanding job. So yes, don't have that mentality of like testing is an easier one.
Okay.
I think I have answered your question.
Yes, I think you have, and I think there are many who are looking for similar, although this might not be the answer they expected, but I mean, anything is like, it doesn't mean that we are discouraging you to come.
We are not discouraging you. We can learn anything, but yes, there's a proper steps. That's why I've mentioned like types of testing. Choose your testing path, choose your platform, and just work on that. If you want to go into API testing, have knowledge of Postman. You should be knowing the tools which you should be knowing to be a API tester. And I think I have missed one slide here, like what's the career path. I should be adding that. Like many people come to me and say, I want to apply to test analyst job, right? So you should be knowing what is required to apply for that job. For test analyst job, you should be having minimum 3 years of experience in testing. So if you have 0 years or 2 years of experience, you should be looking for QA engineer or test engineer job. So what's the progression in testing is like QA or test engineer, test analyst, senior test analyst, test lead, and then test manager. So this is the career path which a tester goes into. If you are newbie, you should looking for QA engineer or test engineer job role, entry level.
Yeah, and there's one more question from the group. Do you think apps testers are in demand as well?
Mobile app testing, yes, but if you want to be like in general, you should go for a web-based application. But yes, mobile app testers are also in demand a lot. Or you should be probably go into automation one, mobile app automation tester. So you should be having one tool APM, which I mentioned before. Learn that and update your resume.
Okay. So if there are no more questions, I think thanks, Harneet. We are still waiting for Samira. She actually, I think she's here.
I am here.
Okay.
I am here, but I am driving and I'm almost home. So if Harneet, you want to take a couple more questions, that would help me.
Yeah, Samira, no worries. Just drive safe. We can wait a few minutes for you. I think I would like to say in the meantime that yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, no
I
worries,
can.
Samira. Yeah.
Harneet, I got one question. Like currently, I'm into manual testing. I'm still a newbie to testing. It's just 3 months old, and I am into product testing. And currently, my company is recommending me to do Tosca because I was previously a developer background, and after my career break, I got into testing, as you said, this ISTBQB. I did learning, and I didn't do the certification, but I did a learning which really helped me to understand the basic skills that is required to get into testing field. So what I wanted to know here is currently I'm into manual testing, but the company is recommending me to do Tosca. So in that case, will my career path completely changes? I mean, moving forward, will I be only into automation testing?
See, it's not only automation testing, but it's everything.
Okay.
Automation one.
Okay.
So yeah, Tosca is a very good tool, and like I was applying job last year, so either Selenium or Tosca level automation tool you should be aware of. So if you are learning Tosca, it's very nice. Don't think like only automation, because yeah, if you want to go into development, that is a different thing. But yeah, if you want to be a tester, so you should be having both manual and automation testing experience.
Okay, because I was basically interested into API testing.
Oh, API.
But I don't know, my career path is little changing.
No, I think you can. It's not career path is changed. You will eventually in future you will be working in API also.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Like that
I
way.
think Padma, at every level, so it depends a lot on the company, on the project you are hired for. And so these are okay, in your current organization, maybe you are not at that position that, I mean, always try to be clear with your manager what your goals are, so that even though they are not able to help you right now, because, they should be a project for you to work on of your interest. But if you communicate with them whenever you get a time to chat in your reviews quarterly or yearly, they know what you are interested in. Or if you are switching a job and there you are giving an interview, so that time just don't think that, I just want this job. Just think of whether it is the thing you want to do, because that's what they are looking for. So, you can still steer away from it if you want. But like Harneet said, why do that? It's a good tool. learn it and
Very
then
good
move
tool.
on and get a promotion
Okay.
test lead. I think Harneet is test lead a good.
After test analyst, you go into test lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My role was totally different because I come from a developer background, and with my level of experience, I didn't come through the hierarchy like a junior tester like that. I didn't come up. They said as per the company standard, this is the role we can give. So I'm given a senior role.
Nice.
So yeah.
Actually, in my
So
initial career, I was a .NET developer for 2 years.
okay.
So I moved later on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Really
I was
doesn't
little a bit.
matter. Anyhow, you can learn that API testing by yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Harmeet.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm posting this link here. Okay.
Hi, Harneet. Sorry,
Go ahead.
guys. I have a question. I'm actually working as a BA at the moment, and I was just very much curious to explore the field of testing. So, do you think, as a BA, I don't have any developer background? I don't know a lot of coding and stuff. I just, like all the BA stuff. So, do you think I can, like, go into this field?
It basically, it's all your preference actually. If you really want to go, you will make your own path. What I feel. If you really want to go to testing, you will have a look. You will, after the session, you will go and check what is ISTQB, what path I should see, and you will clear that certification. After that, you will learn the tools. So I think, I don't know about functional BA, but yes, nowadays, there are technical BAs who have SQL knowledge, who have coding experience. So if you want to switch your career path from BA to testing, you can do that because you know the organization processes. So that will be helpful to you. You just need to learn tools and you are having local experience, which will help you out.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Ashmita. Any more questions, guys? Okay. So what I did is I just posted a link in the chat where we have all our YouTube channel where we have everything. So even this recording will go there if you want to share with your friends or anybody who could not join. Even if you feel it's relevant for somebody who is not in Australia, because this session is related to testing and not to Australian job market. So yeah, just go through the YouTube channel. I will take some time to upload this session's video there, but there are others there with about BA and Salesforce and volunteer work. Yes, Janvi, you have a question?
Yep, Harneet, this is Janvi here. Yeah, I just have a quick question for you. Like, I'm at the moment I'm getting trained with ISTQB and Agile basics. So at the moment, what I'm looking forward is like I wanted to get into testing field, but I'm a really fresher. I haven't got any experience with IT before, as I mentioned in the last session before. So what I'm looking for is like, is it the right way I'm going, and how can I do a volunteer work so that I can have some hands-on experience, so that I can decide, how the work will be, so that I can be more confident for the interviews. That's what I'm looking for.
I got you, Janvi. I just want to check one thing from you. Which year did you pass out your BTech?
No, I'm coming from science background, Harneet, actually, but I worked in quality assurance team when I was in India, but all the time I was into health side, but always into the technical side, but not like not completely like a medical background. So I was working with technical things, quality assurance tools. So that's the reason why I have chosen to come into the career change into the IT field. So I have started learning IT certifications this year, last year, and this year I started learning some of them. So 2010 I passed out my bachelor's, and then 2013 I did my master's.
I think Australia is a very good market, and they considered your job switch. Yeah. Yes. I think you have to do quite a hard work. We can have a separate chat with you. You can call me or ping me anytime on Facebook, and I think we can think what you can do. From
Janvi, we do have. Sorry, go ahead.
No worries, Isha, you continue.
So I was just telling Janvi that we do have another session coming up next week because the market is really hot, and there are a lot of jobs, and we have people looking for jobs. It's just a matter of upskilling ourselves and matching their criteria and clearing the interview. So it's like a win-win for the companies looking for people, and for us who are looking for jobs. Especially good time for people who are on a break and who are new to IT and everything. So we do have a session next week. That's why we have back to back, and it's more like we will be covering in that the entry level thing. So it's a BA related session, but the lady is she said that she's listening to a lot of stories around there, and I think she will be having some guidance about all type of entry level. And she also said that she wants to share some resources and links which have these type of job openings. So I'm myself not sure about her content because I will also get to know in that session, but I will share the event details with you guys and just try to join that time like you did today, or yeah. And I think should be able to, but you will need to build your profile. You will need to see where you are lacking and upskill yourself.
Sure, then Harneet, if you can give me your contact name or something, like I can ping you either in Facebook.
I will share with Isha, no worries, and you can talk to her. And yeah, that's. You are in Women in IT group, right?
Yeah, Harneet.
So you can ping me there.
Sure.
In that group. And
okay.
First of all, you should be knowing why you want to join testing. You wanna come into a testing. You want to come into IT, or you want to come to a testing field, because in IT also you are having developer, BA, testing, then support. So you should be knowing that IT or testing, and don't have such thing like testing is easy or something. Yes, you should be aware why you want to come to testing field, first of all.
Okay. Yeah.
There are many career paths in Australia.
Okay, because I haven't aware of remaining career paths. I have always heard about the BA roles and the testing roles. So that's the reason why I was thinking maybe at the entry level, maybe I can take up the manual testing, or if I can trained in the tools, I can get into the testing. That's what I was having in my mind. That's the reason why I've chosen testing actually.
Yeah, I think then Janvi, do come in the next session, they will talk about all different type of, I'll try to ask this question or ask this question, they are like, what are the entry level jobs? Is it because if you're getting into testing, and what if you don't like it later?
Exactly. And if you go to the job profile, you won't see many manual testing jobs in the market nowadays.
Yeah, correct.
So it will, it will be a very long learning process for you. Better if you want to, learn anything, you can take some graduation, you can learn, you can graduate, do your graduation in different field in IT also, and then can join a graduate program rather than coming directly into testing. Because I think in Australia, mostly they are having jobs for experienced people. I'm not that sure. There might be having entry-level jobs, but yeah, for testing, I've mostly seen experience job and automation ones.
Yeah, that's true. They really require at least 1 or 2 years of automation experience so that that is a entry level position which they are advertising nowadays.
Will end up not applying anything. So you should be aware what you want and what you need. We can have a separate talk later on. No worries.
Sure, Harneet, thanks.
Okay, thanks so much, Harneet. It was beautiful, and thanks for making this presentation. Harneet had a release this week, which is like, yeah, it's still gonna be there. So she was like, literally, yesterday we were talking at 11 p.m. when we hanged up. Yeah,
And
so
I
we
just
were.
created PPT half an hour before. I think I should not be just saying and everyone wondering what is this, what is it. I just thought I should just write important points just as a
No,
note.
I think it's really helpful to a lot of people there, and they are leaving their comments here. So, so a big thank you for that, and keep doing it. So thank you doesn't mean stop doing it.
Yeah.
No, okay.
So we can
So
have
keep
a
doing that.
separate
And
technical discussions for
yeah.
these ones. It was a very basic and half an hour session, so I just don't want to cover many topics here. Just
Sure.
overview.
Thank you, Harneet. And I think Samira is here. Samira.